In the 1970s, the biggest show in Texas was football's biggest team, America's team. And the biggest thing on the Cowboys was a 6-foot, 8-inch defensive end named Ed Too Tall Jones, the first pick of the 1974 draft.
I'd look at those long arms of his, and I'd look at myself, and I'm going, you know, this isn't fair. I'm just this short little dumpy guy. Can I really keep him from the quarterback?
His physical abilities helped number 72 dominate his side of the defensive line.
All of a sudden, just out of nowhere, just his instincts would tell him it's time to leap up or stick my hand up, and he'd knock a pass down, and he just did it time and time again.
I was able to, a lot of times, get my hand on passes that created interceptions, that resulted in touchdowns, what have you, and teams didn't like to throw right.
In Dallas, he was often overshadowed by a line that included 2 Hall of Famers.
We had guys, you know, like Bob Lilly, and we had Randy White, and all those, and they were excellent pass rushers.
But the bigger the game, the bigger the performance from the biggest Cowboy.
Well, I remember what a force he was in Super Bowl 12, and I felt sorry for Craig Morton. I mean, I almost wanted to go over and apologize to him.
I tell you what, he was unstoppable. He played some of his greatest games in big games.
Jones appeared in 3 Super Bowls, hammering Craig Morton of the Broncos in a win, and hampering the high-powered Steelers offense in 2 losses.
It was a long road. It wasn't easy for me. You know, I was a basketball and baseball player growing up, and decided to play football and didn't even know the rules of the game. In fact, I used to call football players crazy for knocking each other around out there like they do.
For a player who didn't appreciate contact sports, Ed Jones made a bizarre career choice after 5 years with the Cowboys. He abruptly left the team to go to New York and pursue his dream of becoming a professional boxer.
You think about all these people that sit on their couches at home and say, hey, I can do that, you know, or I'd get in the ring with Mike Tyson for $30 million. You know, now, would you really? You know.
I thought Too Tall Jones made a serious effort to see whether he could be a professional prize fighter. He found out that giving it 1 year was not enough, even if he was serious about it. And he had athletic talent, but he wasn't a fighter.
I didn't want to be 40 years old and when it was too late to do it and say, man, I didn't give it a shot. I didn't want that elephant on my back for the rest of my life.
After 1 year, Jones quit boxing as mysteriously as he started.
Things happen for reasons that I can't go into at this particular time. But I do look forward to the day to clear the record, because all the reasons for me leaving are just so far from the truth that I've read and heard that one day I will clear the air.
When he came back, he had more hand speed, he had more foot speed, he was quicker, he had more agility.
Jones would return for 10 more seasons, going to 3 Pro Bowls and recording 106 career sacks, 3rd most in Cowboy history.
When he wanted to, like I said, when he wanted to, Big Ed could grab anybody and sling them like a dish rag and get the quarterback.
With his strength and surprising speed, he was a terror for offensive linemen. Jones's career makes a convincing argument for his inclusion in the Hall of Fame, and the Hall of Famers he played with and against couldn't agree more.
You have to prepare for Too Tall a little bit differently than other defensive ends because of his great height.
Ed and I, in the 10 years that we played against each other twice a year, never, ever spoke. The year I retired, my last game, I walked up to Ed and I stuck out my hand and I said, I'm quitting. And he looked at me and he went, I'm glad.
I think Ed Jones is a Hall of Fame football player. Yes, I do. Ed Jones dominated his position as well as anybody.
If there's anybody that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, Ed Jones surely does.
I'm humbled that Randy and Staubach would say that. You're talking about 2 Hall of Famers there. If it happened, fine, but even if it doesn't happen, I can always say that every time I set foot on the field, I gave it my best. And that's all you can ask for.
On the field and off it, Ed Jones was truly larger than life.